That was the moment it hit in the Chelyabinsk region, 900 miles east of Moscow. The Ministry of Emergencies says 524 people were injured, 82 of whom were children, 34 adults and a dozen children still in hospital. Well, moments earlier, a car driver with an onboard camera caught these clear pictures of the meteorite coming in directly ahead and across the view from his windscreen. Another driver with an onboard camera they used to record traffic accidents shot these pictures of the object passing over a motorway at about the same time. And CCTV cameras caught these pictures from above as the meteorite passed by, the flash from its trail illuminating the entire area. Cameras in rooms and stores caught a different vantage point. This was a school when the windows were blown in, and all the while new pictures coming in too. Closed-circuit TV from this office. People obviously unsure what to do, what had caused the blast, people retreating from the windows as quickly as possible. And the sheer energy revealed by this. Well, earlier I spoke to one Chelyabinsk resident, Anna Pinkus, who described what happened.
We saw, first of all, a very bright light and looked out of the window, and all that we saw, first of all, was the trace in the sky. It was something like clouds, but the trace was quite short. And after that, we heard about 3 explosions or so on. It was a very loud sound, and after that, our windows began to shatter and just shivered somewhere. So it was very terrifying.
What did you think it was?
First of all, we thought it was the plane crash, but after that, in the internet, we read the proposition that it was the meteorite or meteorite shower.
Well, this was the scene at Chelyabinsk Hospital after the meteor strike, as we've heard. More than 500 people injured, getting on for 100 of them children, and 2 people are still in intensive care. Let's go live to Moscow. Our Russia correspondent, Katie Stellard, is there. Katie, if anybody had any doubts about the seriousness of this, 2 people in intensive care, footage coming to light all the time, the latest of which really captures the sheer physical forces brought to bear. A corrugated door of a factory unit blown in by the sheer force of this meteor coursing through the air.
Yeah, and the sheer number of injuries tells you something about the region across which this meteor travelled. I mean, this is a meteor that the figures we're getting from the Russian Academy of Sciences say that this meteor was travelling at 33,000 miles per hour as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. They say that it shattered between 18 and 32 miles above the Earth's surface, sending its fragments careening towards the ground. And you can see what happens as they're burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. The force with which they're moving, the sheer speed, the light, the flames that are coming off it show you how fast this object is moving, and you can see the force with which it hits the ground. The Ministry of Defence are saying that they have identified a 6-metre diameter crater which they believe has been caused by one of these fragments. I guess one of the questions is how many pieces this meteor broke into and where all of those pieces have landed. There are reports of sightings across 6 cities in this central Russian region. And the sightings are remarkably similar. People talking about this bright light passing overhead, seeing then the column of smoke that followed it, and then hearing sometime afterwards, which would support the speeds that this meteor is being reported as travelling at, some minutes afterwards, hearing in some cases one loud explosion, in some cases one main explosion, but then followed by a number of smaller explosions. And it's those explosions, the force of that pressure wave, which has done the damage here. It has shattered windows, it's caused damage to 297 buildings, and the majority of those injuries do seem to be cuts and bruises related to flying glass, rubble from buildings, but there are among them serious injuries.